This video will introduce the subjunctive mood and two subjunctive tenses, the imperfect and the pluperfect, for transfer Latin. We'll start by talking about verbs, and we already know some categories that verbs have. For instance, tense, when it happens, person, who does it, number, how many people are doing it, and voice, whether or not the subject is doing or receiving it, and finally mood, which we'll introduce in this video. We'll start with tense. Tense just describes when the action of the verb is taking place. In Latin, you've already learned four tenses: the present, the imperfect, the perfect, and the pluperfect. You've also already learned person. Person is who the subject is, and we know three persons. The first person, I or we. The second person, you or y'all. And finally, the third person, he, she, it, or they. You also have already met number. Number tells you how many the subject is. We have just two numbers, singular, which is just one, and plural, which is more than one. Finally, although you may not realize it, you've met voice. Voice tells you whether the subject is the doer or receiver of the action. We have active voice, which we're used to. The subject is doing the action. And we have passive voice, where the subject is receiving. Now we'll talk about mood. Mood, in both English and Latin, describes whether the verb is expressing a fact, a command, or is subordinate to something else. You are already familiar with the indicative mood, which is for facts, things that have already happened. Amo, I love, it's just a fact. Dormiebat, I was sleeping, it's just a fact. Audivisti, you heard. Indicative for factual. You've also met the imperative. The imperative is for giving direct commands. Veni, come. Pugnate, fight. Imperative is for commands. Now we're going to learn the subjunctive mood. And the subjunctive comes from two Latin words, sub, under, and jungere, to join. And this can help us remember what the subjunctive mood is for, because the words sub and jungere together just mean to join under. So the subjunctive mood, or the joining under mood, is for clauses that don't fit all by themselves. They have to be under another part of the sentence. So we would call these subordinate clauses, which are clauses that are joined under another freestanding sentence. Let's look at an example. When it had eaten, cat slept. The cat slept could be a sentence on its own, but when it had eaten could not. It's a subordinate. He had thrown the rock in order to hit the cat. He had thrown the rock can also stand in it. But in order to hit the cat is a subjunctive clause because it's subordinate. It can be a sentence on its own. Let's look at these same two sentences in Latin, and we'll actually see that it's much easier to recognize subjunctive clauses. Cum cena vicent, feles dormivit. Dormivit is a normal verb, but cena vicent is subjunctive, and it has that distinctive ecent ending. Saxum iecit ut arborum verberaret. Verberaret, again, is subjunctive. It has a different and unique ending. So, let's talk about these endings. The subjunctive imperfect ending is the infinitive. Don't take anything off. Add the present tense endings except for the first person, which will be am. So we'll take the infinitive and we'll just tack on mst, mustis und. Now, there's the subjunctive pluperfect. We'll take the perfect stem because it's perfect, add ise, and then those same endings. So we'll have the perfect stem plus isem, ises, set, isemus, isetis, isen. If you have more questions about this, first, check out pages 70 and 73 in your textbook. Then, you are welcome to post them to the Google Classroom page. Vale!